Good morning, gang. It's Friday, the 12th of October 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom tour, coming to you from our Chapel Hill Marina studios here in the heart of Lincolnshire. And I've got my sunglasses. I completely forgot about these. Yesterday, another lovely day yesterday. I have to say, by the way, I'm still hyper, and I'm still trying to get over the excitement of winning at the bingo on Wednesday night down in Skegness. I won £5. If you weren't with us yesterday, you won't know this. I won £5 at the bingo on Wednesday night. I mean, it cost me £12 to win that, but that's neither here nor there. You know, I won £5 and I've been carefully spending my money. I'm surprised. What surprised me after winning such a large amount of money, I'm surprised that I wasn't offered help. Because often you hear of the people that win the lottery and people like that, they then have people that go and help them so that they don't make any bad investments or people like that. So I've heard. Not that I know anyone that's ever won the lottery. You know, I suppose you've got to be in it to win it. I don't always buy it. Sometimes I buy 1 or 2 tickets. But ever since it went up to £2 a go, dear, why did it have to go up that high? Oh, they said because the prize money is not attracting enough people. Well, how greedy are people? What, isn't £1 million enough? £1 million, they're so greedy, aren't they? Oh, no. Oh, is it only £1 million? Oh, I don't think I'd buy a ticket. Greedy people, dear. That's why it's £2 a ticket now. I wouldn't mind. When it was £1 a ticket, I used to go out, not every week, but now and again I'd go and buy 5 tickets. Now it's £2 a ticket. I only buy 1. And it's so much easier to mark off 1 ticket than 2, isn't it? Or 3, 4 or 5. Especially in a bingo hall when the bloke reading out the numbers is going at 2,000 miles an hour. I can't keep up. My poor brother-in-law Martin, he was going so fast that he missed his win of £5. Yes. But no help was given, so I was given that £5, which I carefully placed in full view of my sister, because she didn't win anything. She's so serious about it. She didn't win a penny. Oh, poor sis. There's me with my £5 winnings displayed on there. Martin put his up there as well for her to look over at and be jealous. But no help, you know. But I have almost spent that £5 now. I have to tell you that now, boys and girls. So I'm quite pleased about that. Anyway, these glasses, I completely forgot about them. They're in my car, which is having a minor problem at the moment. On the dashboard comes up the message, key battery low. So I must get that done or I won't be able to start the damn thing. Well, so you say you can start it with other methods. Now, I got out the little book while I was sitting in the so that goes in the sort of thing at the top there. There's a little, I don't know, like a little cupboard type thing that comes down and you put them in and you push it back up again, and they are hidden from me. They're fantastic, aren't they? I bought these in Florida when me and my nephew went to Florida about 4 years ago. When he was 17, 18, 19, 20. So 4 years ago, yeah. And I said, oh, they're nice, aren't they? And my nephew don't think twice about buying something for himself. for himself. That's the younger nephew. And he's like, buy them. Oh, I don't know. Do you want them? Well, yeah. Well, go on. Just buy them. Buy them. So I bought them. And I'm very pleased with these. They're the only survivors. I've had Calvin Klein ones and all sorts, and they all fall apart. These ones haven't fallen apart. Probably because they're plastic and they haven't got that little hinge thing on there. What make are these? I don't know. Are they, I don't know what, oh, hang on. Oh, how can I even see that writing on there? Just a moment. One moment, please, while we try and connect it. As the wind's where you are, I'll come on to that in a minute. Oh, we're blowing a bit here, I'll tell you. Hang on a minute. Can you hear the wind or not? Jacket 2.0. It's got some sort of hieroglyphic writing on it. It must be Chinese or something. I don't know what make they are, but these are my favourite. Oh, these are my favourite sunglasses. They're wonderful, aren't they? So anyway, this battery low indicator came on the thing. So I immediately went into the little cubby hole for the instruction book to the car, which is more like an encyclopedia these days, isn't it? And I'm looking in there, and it says, oh, if you can't start the car, there is a key. Wonderful, I thought. The key is hidden in the fob. Okay, so I'm picking up this fob, and on the side is a little thing that says push. So I pushed, and I'm waiting, I don't know, I'm waiting for something to spring out. You know how some of these cars you go, and he goes, like a blooming flick knife to you. Frightening, really. And nothing's coming. I'm pushing this thing, I'm pushing this. And where is this coming from then? And I've held it like that and pushed it, and this key has magically dropped out of the key fob. Isn't that exciting? I thought, fantastic. So obviously then I'm looking on the dashboard. Well, where's the hole? Can't find a hole. Where do you put the key? I'm moving the steering wheel round like that, looking on the side of it, looking on the top, looking underneath. Can't find a hole. I'm all over the dashboard, next to the speedometer, the petrol indicator, the rev thing that goes. I don't know. Why have they put those on cars? Rev indicators. What is the point of those? Someone please tell me why they put rev indicators on cars. I mean, are you that thick you don't know when to change a gear? But mine's an automatic. Why is it an automatic car? What is that? Is that just so that lads can sit there and go, oh wow, look at all my revs. No, just drive the damn thing for Christ's sake. Can't find the hole. I can't find this hole for the key. So my sister's now got in the car. This is when we were going to Skegness. I forgot to tell you this yesterday. And I said, see if you can have a look in that book. See if you can find where I put this key. She said, well, what do you need that for? I said, well, my battery's got low. So, you know, I don't know how long you've got, but presumably you want to get something like that done fairly quickly, don't you? So, I mean, funnily enough, I'm booked in for a service, not next week, obviously, because I'm away with my nephew, but the week after, literally the day after, I'm booked in for a service. So I'll probably get them to do it then, because it won't be used for that time. But meanwhile, just in case the car won't start, what do? So we're now driving to Skegness. She's looking through the book. I can't find it anywhere. My brother-in-law is making suggestions as well. And then we found what looks like a hole next to, it's not a gear stick, is it? You know, on the automatic car, whatever that lever thing is there, that forward, back, stop, park, reverse, whatever that lever is there, there's a little hole there. So I pulled over and we're trying to put it, no, it won't go in. She said, oh, it only goes one way round, my sister says. According to the instructions, this key will only go in one way. No, it won't go in. So then I thought, well, I mean, it was 5:30. Let's give Toyota a ring and see what they say. So I rung up, very helpful man on the phone, and he says, what car have you got? So I told him. He said, oh, you haven't got a key thing there. I said, well, that's what it says in the book. No, he said, you haven't got one there. What you have to do is, with the key fob, push it right up against the start button. Okay? And if you push it up against the start button and push the start button in with the key fob, it will start even though the battery is dead. Oh, wonderful. Why don't it say that in the book? Because it doesn't say in the book that key not for all models, or, you know, the sort of thing, I mean, all models do not need this key or do not have this key. It just says there is a key. And indeed, there is a key in the key fob. So I thought, oh, wonderful. Okay, so put the phone down and we're carrying on. Went to Skegness. I think it was on the way home. I suddenly said to my sister, I said, well, hang on a minute. If you can start the thing with a plastic thing, how do you actually get in the car? You'd need a key for going in the car. But I don't think there's a lock on outside the car door. How would you get in? So we'll continue. We're having this whole discussion. How are we going to get in the car? Yeah, if the battery's flat, you push the button, the things won't click. They won't open, will they? The central lock-in. But got back here, and then I discovered there is indeed a key slot on the outside of the driver's side. How fantastic is that? So there is actually one there. So that is what the key's for. But the bloke on the phone never told me that. How are you supposed to know these things? Anyway, I haven't tested it out yet. I think what I'm going to do, after I finish the show today, I'll go outside just with that little bit of key and not the fob, because if you get close to the car with a fob, it opens it automatically, even without actually pulling the handle. How clever is that? Or pushing a button. All you got to do is you've got your key fob in your hand and you touch the car door and all the locks open and it comes in like that. So I'll go out there with just the little key bit, which is very small. It's actually very small. And I'll see if I can open it. Probably the damn alarm will go off or something like that. So there is my excitement to tell you. That's what all these glasses. Isn't it funny how we go from one story to another? So I must replace those glasses later on. Now, who's with us this morning? Where should we start? Let's start on Periscope this morning. My nephew's there. Gary Butler International. Good morning, Gary. How's it windy here today? My caravan is being blown all over the place. Actually, it isn't. It doesn't move, this caravan. It's very, very well anchored down. Morning to Paul Mosley over on YouTube. Good morning, Paul. Hope you're well today. Let's have a look there. Oh, is it just you on the YouTube this morning? Oh, where's all the YouTube people? I hope they're all right. Okay. Over on Facebook Live, first message of the day goes to Mr. Dr. S.O.S. Gregorian. A very good morning to you, sir, down there in London. Ray Reynolds is there. Evan says winds are gusting in Cornwall to 80 miles an hour. Yes, that's fast wind. I mean, it's bad here, to be honest. It's really windy outside. I don't know if I know you can hear when the planes go over, but I don't know if you can hear the wind or not. It's really quite blowing away there this morning. Good morning to Diane Jebb. Morning, Diane. Adrian Richardson is there. Let's have a look there. Paul Gapper. Hang on a minute. Gapper. Gary Butler. Gapper. London. Oh, that's coming up there now. Oh, that's good. Oh, I don't need that open now. Oh, that's fantastic news. The Periscope messages are now coming up within the rest of them. Oh, that is good news. I won't need that opening. That's good. Hang on, let me close that down. Close that down like that. There we are. Good morning to Mo. Morning, Mo. Stephen Lusher. Good morning from 28 degrees in Singapore. That's not bad, is it, eh? Singapore Airlines, a great way to fly. I can't remember the exact jingle. I'm off on holiday next week, Stephen, to Las Vegas. 25 to 28 degrees there at the moment. I'm pleased to say. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm taking my nephew again. This was a present for his 21st birthday. And I just hope I can give him a good time, as good as we had in Florida anyway. I was a little bit concerned yesterday. I've been getting pains here. Now, I don't laugh. I do suffer from constipation. And I have to have little packets of powder every morning to help me go. And I noticed yesterday I wasn't going properly. And for about 3 days now, I've been getting pains just below my belly button on the right. It's not the appendix because I've had that out. Now, I've had this for a few years now. In my head, I reckon there's like a tight... It can't be a blockage because it gets through eventually. But I reckon there's a tight bend there where all the stuff can't get round the intestines or whatever that bit is there properly. But and I'd like, you know, sometimes I think I wish they'd just take me into the hospital, open up that little bit there and have a look. Do you know, surely there can't be any harm in having a look, but they don't. They just give me another sort of powder or something like that, and hopefully. But it has cleared a bit. It's not. It doesn't feel so bad this morning. So perhaps a good night's sleep is what will sort that. And it's certainly it's half as bad as it was yesterday. So I'm hoping by Monday that'll be all right. But that was bothering me a little bit, especially when you're just about to go to holiday, and especially when you go to America. Although I've got the insurance, I've got the sickness insurance. You must never ever go to any country, especially America, without health insurance, because the charges you will get if you have to do so much as call out a bloody ambulance are astronomical. They really are. I mean, you hear of people who have broken a leg in the States with no insurance. They come back here, they have to sell their house. And that's not enough to cover the bills in American hospitals. I'm sure they're very good, but Jesus, the prices they charge to fix little bits. How much is a plaster in America? About 300 quid is the answer. So not too bad. Good morning to Michael Lawrence. Good morning, Michael. Welcome along. Laura's there. Hello, Laura. You delightful little character. She's having a lie-in today. 2 days off work. Well, bully you. Gosh. How's this, Laura? I only work 3 nights a week now, love. How's that feel, eh? Don't worry. How old are you now, darling? Another 40 years and you'll be able to do 3 days a week. I worked every night for years and years and years. Not that I'm complaining, because I had a good time. You know, I'm very lucky to have done a job that I absolutely enjoyed. Doing all that DJing for years and years and years, and hopefully making people happy when they were dancing. Of course, lots of people, and sometimes I think about things like the amount of people that would have met their other halves at one of my gigs, whether it be karaoke, DJing, quiz nights or whatever. Must have been a load of those as well, I suppose, which is quite nice. Not for me though, unfortunately, Laura. Not for me. Sad old me, sitting here talking in a small room all on his own. Incidentally, I've put a couple of extra lights in here today. I don't know if that's made any difference to anyone. You probably haven't even noticed. They're only like temporary light things, and I'll see if that's made any difference. Good morning to Ben Atwood. Morning, Ben. That thing is called a gear selector. What, that thing in the middle? It's not a gear stick, because a gear is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, isn't it? No, this is like the on an automatic. I've got an automatic car, so it's forward, reverse, park. Is that still called a gear selector? I don't think it is, but you might be right. I'm not sure of that. Good morning to Ashley Russell, who can't hear me. Well, turn your sound up then, you silly bastard. Everyone else can hear me. Audio is fine for Ben. Turn it up, dear. Turn it up. That's the only thing. Sometimes, no disrespect to you, of course, because I need people to tell me when they think something's wrong. But often you get one person who says, oh, the picture's not right or the sound's not right. I don't usually do anything for one person because generally it can be your end, you see. That's the problem with computers. There's like a million places that it can go wrong. But once 3 or 4 people tell me, yeah, there's something wrong here, then I kind of do something. Good morning, Colin. Hello, Colin. You delightful character. Colin is a great man I met a few years ago, and he used to come down the city of Quebec and dance his arse off all night like that. And he's got this dance that he does in the middle of the dance floor. He's a wonderful man, and I became good friends with him. We are very, very alike the way we think about other people. Oh, you should hear some of the conversations we've had about other people down there. Do you remember that idiot who kept coming up and asking for requests all the time, Ben? Is he still... Oh, Colin, is he still going down there? Oh, he thought that this particular venue was his own personal discotheque, and he would come time and time again and want this and want that, and then he'd come back, when is my request going on? When I'm ready to bloody well play it, mate. Go away. Eventually, I shut the door, didn't I? I put up a sign, no requests. That was only for his benefit and no one else. It's true. It's true, Colin. Thank you for saying that, Colin. That's very nice of you to say. Laura says she's 31 but feels older. Got so many aches and pains from my job. Well, what do you do? What do you actually do, Laura? You're like Kelly Kim. You make this pretend. Kelly Kim is another lovely, wonderful person. She turns up at my karaoke advice with all these papers and iPads. And what are you doing? Oh, I'm just doing some work. No, they're not doing work. They don't do anything. If you'd done your work properly while you were at work, you wouldn't have to bring it along to my karaoke nights, would you? That's my thoughts on that. Oh, dear. Steve Allen apparently was slagging off Bracknell. Chris said it was a... what I said it was a dump. Oh, you mean Steve said it was a dump? No, oh, but he hasn't been to my house, Steve Allen. Wonderful man. I met him once in Vermeulen's Garden Centre a couple of years ago now, and we had a bit of a chat and a walk around. At that point, I used to write into the show because, of course, he was on late at night. So I used to catch him. Do you know, I could do with one of my asthma little puffs. Do you mind if I just go and have a little asthma puff thing? I usually have one before I start the show, actually, but I haven't had one today. I've got to unplug myself, so you'll hear silence for a few moments, all right? Watch this. Now you can hear me? That's better, isn't it? There you are. You got me back now? There we are, back there. Ray says the picture is fine. In fact, it may be better. The sky in the picture is stable. No flashes or variations. Now, Ray, the reason that you get flashes sometimes on the picture behind me is because at the end of the day, this is just a webcam. Good quality webcam, but nevertheless it's a webcam. The window I'm sitting in front of has very thin curtains. So if it's cloudy and sunny, every time the sun suddenly comes from behind the plane, the webcam is readjusting itself. I could turn that facility off, but then I'd go dark and light all the time. The webcam is readjusting itself to the different light. So that's why you get the flash. It would be much better for me to get like a blackout blind in here and then a couple of proper lights, as I have at our Berkshire television studio complex, like I have there. That would actually work much better. So I'm going to measure the window and get another drop down blind for it. Okay. Paul says there's nothing in Bracknell. Oh, is he having a laugh? There's a brand new shopping centre there. Brand new shopping centre. And we got the forest and the woods for you to walk over. What does he want? What does he want there, Paul? You must ask him, dear. You must work. Laura works on a farm with horses and sheep. Oh. There. Sheep barge you, don't they, Laura? Do they barge you when they don't like you? I heard that they barge you. Here, there's a story, actually, about wildlife. 1 minute, let me see if I find this. I got this up. That's a nice link, isn't it? Let me see where that is now. 1 moment, please. Oh, I haven't got it now. I'm sure I had a story up. No, that's not it. 1 moment. Oh, there was a story about cows or something. It wasn't a good story. It didn't have a good ending. This bloke died. Apparently his dog went into a field, right? Where there were loads of cows. The bloke went into the field to go and get his dog, right? And a cows stampeded, and he was crushed to death. So you be careful when you're dealing with those sheep, dear. They'd probably barge you out of the way, wouldn't they? Poor little things. Bah, bah. I do like sheep and wild horses as well. How lovely. I can't remember the last time I went on a horse. My God, I must have been very, very small. Wasn't my sort of thing. I do remember going to... This was somewhere in Florida. It'd be about 15 years ago. Possibly called Arabian Nights. Where you go, it's like a dinner thing, right? So you go into this place and you all get served dinners by these cowboys and cowgirls walking around in all the kit, you know. They put down the food in front of you, which is a typical cowboy thing, like sausages and beans or something like that. And you're all in this arena, and the show is horses. And they come in and they got the feathers on them, and cowboys are jumping off them and on to others, and Indians as well with the feathers and all that business. Oh, there's a story about that. I've got a story about the Indian feathers. 1 moment. No, I have got that one. There we are. I'll come to that in a second. And it's great, except my asthma kicked off terribly. So it must have been the horses, unfortunately, all the fur and that flying around all over the place. And I had to leave. Who was I with at the time? I don't know who I was with. I might have been on my own, actually. No, I'm sure I was with someone. That's about 15 years ago. And I went outside to have a puff of my asthma, and guess what? Outside were about 10 other people who were having the same problem. So horses are nice things, but probably not for me. There's a story here in the Daily Mail online this morning, and it's the old offended people again. It's offended people again, and the reason I bring this up is because you just mentioned horses, cowboys, Indians. Here we go. Cowboys and Indians outfits have been banned from fancy dress parties by Snowflake University students. Here we go again. Oh, I'm really offended by that. We can't have that. Let's all have a students' union meeting in our safe space. Let's go to our safe space where nothing can hurt us. No, not unless Putin drops a nuclear bomb on you all. Not a very safe space then, is it, dears? Oh, let's go into our safe space. Oh, it's pathetic. Mexican-style sombreros have also fallen foul of the politically correct rules which student leaders say threatens people's safe space. Safe space. When I think of the fun I had as a child dressing up in all these wonderful outfits from other parts of the world. No, not in the universities. However, the fancy dress guidelines approve of doctors and nurses, ancient Greeks, Romans, cave people, and aliens. Why have aliens all got really big eyes? Have you noticed that? They've got massive eyes, haven't they? Oh, I mean, it's just ridiculous. The sniffy commandment, this is in this morning's Daily Mail, was made by the students at the Student Union at the University of Kent. Oh, because we're all better than everyone else. Pathetic. Which claims to speak for 20,000 students at the campus in Canterbury. It says dressing up as a particular race, culture or stereotype is offensive and will not be tolerated. I've got a message for you. Piss off. Piss off and stop moaning about the fun that other people have. Just because you don't see the funny side of anything. Oh, they get on my nerves, this lot. But the proposals were ridiculed yesterday. A 33-year-old father of two, Rob, from Canterbury, said to think these people are supposed to be among the brightest young people in Britain. You know, they think of all these things instead of learning about stuff. Come on, students, impress me. Find a new antibiotic. Invent a new way of making unlimited power that we can all use for nothing. Take us to the far-sung reaches of the universe by spaceship. Impress me with something like that, because that does not impress me. Oh, you can't wear cowboy and Indian outfits, because they will be offended because I have decided to represent them at a fancy dress party. So that would offend them, would it? You idiots. Idiots. It goes on social media. Mark wrote, the world has gone mad. You can't say anything more anymore without someone getting offended. I have black, white, straight, gay, Catholic, Muslim friends, and I take the piss out of all of them equally. That's my sort of man. Mark Ryan 911 from Twitter. And here he goes. Now, this is exactly what I mean. He says, I'd just like to have a laugh and crack a joke. And if someone tells me I can't dance because I'm white, or I like little boys because I'm Catholic, I certainly don't take offence. I just laugh because it's a joke. We have all that Catholic. I'm a Catholic myself. And I'm often told by people who are not Catholic, oh, you're Catholic. Oh, all the priests are paedophiles. No, they're not. What a thick thing to say. How can all the priests be paedophiles? That's ridiculous. Yes, there is a small minority, as there is throughout all walks of life. All walks of life have got a couple of these paedophiles walking around, but you have just said that everyone. So that itself could be said as stereotypical, couldn't it? You could say you're stereotyping priests because a few of them were paedophiles. That's not all of them. Someone else says, Brownie girl, I think it is. If these students need a safe place, it's because of their fragile mental state. Then is university really the best place for them? Well, this was, of course, Tony Blair who said everyone should go to university, didn't he? He said everybody needs to go to university. And I think that's so wrong. I'm so glad Tony Blair wasn't Prime Minister when I was a child. I would have hated going to university. Sitting there, bored to tears. You know, some old bloke or old bird chatting away on a stage and you sitting there writing down endless notes. Ooh. And you know, half asleep because you've been up the night before getting pissed down the pub with all your mates. I can't think of anything worse. I'm so glad I didn't go to university. I really am. I think it's a complete and utter waste of time. I was out working. I went and got a job in a shop. That was my first job. As indeed so do many other people. None of my nephews and nieces went to university. And now my niece has her own hairdressers. One of my nephews has his own car repair business. He's 21. He's got a unit and he does his own cars. My other nephew buys and sells stuff on the internet. They're all doing fine. They didn't need to go to university. And you get these stupid ideas in people's heads from student unions. I ain't got time for them, I'm sorry. If they say anything to me, I just walk off. Not interested. Not interested in your comments at all. Someone says, I wonder where exactly these safe places are. Yeah, I've been wondering that. Where are this? Oh, mind you, when I was doing the quiz at the King's Head, I can tell you all this stuff now. Once you leave somewhere, you can tell everything. You can tell everything. I was down the King's Head Theatre Bar once, and there were 5 people on this table, all quite young, and there was one boy with his arm around another, right? So I've gone over there. I said, you two together then? And he looked at me, he said, sorry? I said, you two together, that's nice. He said, well, no, this is our safe space. All right, yes. What's that then? Oh, well, we can be whatever we want when we're in this space. This was a table in a pub that was designated. They decided that that was their safe space. Now, I had gone on. I don't know what he thought I meant, right? But I had gone over to say, are you two together? Expecting them to say, yes, we've been together for 3 weeks. Oh, that's nice to have someone with you like that. I was going to come out with something like that. But for some reason, they didn't get that part of it. He just straightly came out, oh, this is our safe space. We can be whatever we want in this safe space. Well, you tell me, because I don't know. I wonder where exactly these safe spaces are, goes the story. Locked in their bedrooms, hiding under their covers. The union said we empower students to be creative while also ensuring all students feel welcome and safe. How much do these people get for doing this job? So, I mean, universities are just a business now, aren't they? Have you seen how they advertise all their services? It's just a business. Have you seen how much some of the people in charge of universities get? God's sake, man. Student groups are free to engage in fancy dress while ensuring they abide by the fancy dress guidelines. They have fancy dress guidelines. The fancy dress guidelines, which include being offensive, discriminatory, prejudice, an individual's race, gender, disability or sexual orientation, or based on stereotypes. Also banned by the union are dressing up as celebrities known for their sexual misconduct or abuse of power, such as Harvey Weinstein or Jimmy Savile. Outfits with historical or religious themes, including crusaders, Israeli soldiers, IS bombers, and the Prophet Muhammad. So you can go to a fancy dress party at this university in Kent, but you must check the list first for things you can or cannot do. Well, where's the fun gone then? Surely it's up to the individual themselves to wear whatever they damn well please. If I was going to a fancy dress party, I'd probably go as a nun. As a nun. Now, that wouldn't be allowed according to this. Historical or religious themes. I wouldn't be allowed to go as a nun. I'm a Catholic. We have nuns. But I wouldn't be allowed to go as one, as a fancy dress party, because some prat has made up these rules. And you are a prat, whoever you are. This again will promote an unsafe and exclusive campus to which we do not tolerate. It's not the first time the University of Kent students has caused controversy. Recently accused the Tokyo Tea Rooms in Canterbury of cultural appropriation after the bar used white women dressed as geisha girls to promote its opening night. Well, what's wrong with that? Was it like Tokyo? It fits in with the bloody theme, you thickos. Matt Goodwin of Kent Union said the fancy dress policy was a draft proposal, adding, "We will be consulting with our executive groups to gain further feedback." I'll tell you what, how about you don't converse with your executive groups? How about you sit there and bloody well learn something about life, and you might all get on somewhere then. Mightn't you? Stop mucking around with all this stuff and go out there and learn some mathematics and some science and bring the human race forward rather than coming out with crap like that all the time. Oh, it does annoy me. It does. Let's go back to some of your messages there. Colin says, "I'm still recovering from being mugged." Oh, gosh. 6 weeks ago. I'm sorry, Colin. The mugger broke 2 burns in my ankle. I've been knocked out for 6 weeks. I was in a cast, now a surgical boot for the next 6 weeks. Well, get well soon, Colin. I'm terribly sorry to hear that. Whereabouts were you mugged? Was that in London? Whereabouts exactly? What sort of place were you mugged in? Do let us know, okay? Laura says, on the subject of the sheeps, they do headbutt, and most of the time they give you a dead leg. Is it a fairly good headbutt then? I'm going to try that on your leg, Laura. I'm going to headbutt your leg and see what happens next time I see you. All right? I'm at Central Station on Monday, but I don't know if you're coming around, Laura, this week. But I'm there Monday, but not next Monday, okay? So I'm there this Monday, not the one after, because I'm away with my nephew, okay? Ashley says, "I remember when I used to do Frenchy dress. It's got stupid now, all politically correct." Well, don't take any notice of it, Ashley. Don't. You just turn up at a fancy dress in what you want to turn up in. Don't worry about it. It's just a little joke. This is where these blooming students can't have a laugh unless it's a laugh on their own rules in their own tiny little groups. I ain't got the time of day for them. I'm sorry. John Parrish, good morning. John is late this morning because he's been cooking liver and onions. Or how can you eat liver or kidneys or anything like that? All that wee has been going through them, haven't it? Oh, no, dear. Hello to Cordy, who says, "Well, they do up here. What the fancy dress do's in everything, Cordy." Oh, dear. Morning to Mark Cording. It's the royal wedding today. Yes, indeed it is. Will I be watching it? No. What, Princess Eugenie? It's, she's hardly high up the scale, is she? Harry, yes. William, yes. No, I won't be watching the royal wedding. I'll watch the bits of it on the news. Isn't it on now? Is it on now? I think it's on now, isn't it? I'm pretty confident we're not going to lose too many people to the royal wedding programme. I don't think that's going to happen. I'm pleased to say. Oh dear. Stop it, John and Paul. You're just trying to wind me up there, aren't you? Colin was mugged in Park Lane. Park Lane of all places. Posh place. Look at it on the Monopoly board. I can't believe that. Oh, that's awful, Colin. We'll get well soon, my friend. And tell me, I'm not 100% sure of Park Lane. Is it like a busy road? I know it's an expensive, exclusive road, but is it busy? Are there lots of people moving around all the time? I mean, were there people around you, or was it sort of fairly dead? Mind you, you stay till the end, don't you? Is that 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning there? I can't remember. Send my best wishes to our friend Jeffrey, would you? Okay. The wedding starts at 11 o'clock, but it's on ITV now. Yeah, I've no interest in Eugenie at all. Never have had. She's not up the top there, is she? I'll watch anything to do with the Queen, Prince Philip, as I say, William, and Harry, Camilla probably. She's up there. Prince Charles. Anyway, that's it for me. And he went down there. I mean, why, oh, why it's been televised? Well, the BBC turned it down, didn't they? They said, no, what's on BBC One now? You've probably got a choice between the royal wedding with Eugenie, or is it Eugenie? I can't remember now. Or on BBC One, those wonderful 3. You've got Julia Somerville, Angela Rippon, and Gloria Hunniford doing that programme. I like those 3. Oh, they're wonderful. So warm. Such warm people. Cordy says, "Isn't Princess useless? 99th in loan for the throne." Nah, she's not going to watch it either. I don't blame you. Well, yesterday I went swimming after the show yesterday, and I can't remember what I did yesterday morning. Funnily enough, are we not paying for the wedding? I bet we're paying for the security. I think we have to pay for the security. Double check that, Mark. I'm sure we pay for the security. Colin says it's normally busy in Park Line, but that night, 3:15 a.m., there was no one there. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. Never mind. Yeah, and I can't remember what I was doing yesterday morning, funnily enough. I went swimming, came back here, had a bit of lunch. On Tuesday night, my niece-in-law, my nephew's wife, Stacey, she cooked us this absolutely lovely Quorn shepherd's pie, cottage pie type thing, and it was quite big, and I had 2 bits while I was there, and I had the other bit yesterday with some extra baked beans on the top, so that was nice. And I can't remember what I did yesterday afternoon. I know I went for sleep for a couple of hours, got up to go and see the other grandchildren, the other great nieces and nephews, George, Emily, and baby James. But I was driving there and I got a phone call from my niece. She said, "Where are you?" I said, "Well, I'm just going around your house." "Oh, they're going to bed now." She said, "But I'm going for a walk. Do you want to come for a walk? We usually go for a walk on Wednesday nights." Or Thursday. Is it Friday? No, it's Friday today, isn't it? Oh, I've got to get a move on here. Thursday night. So I met her in the Budgeons car park. And there was her, my sister, their friend, and me. So we went walking. My God, they go at twice the speed of sound. Oh, dear. Well, if you thought the bingo caller was fast on Wednesday night, the walking was just as fast on Thursday night. Apparently, it's fat-burning walking. I'm not quite sure what that is. Yeah, I couldn't smell any burning as we were walking around. Although I think one of the fields had had a load of horse dung slung over it recently. The smell coming from near my nephew's house, Gary's house. They have a maggot farm there, and let me tell you, when the wind blows their way, it is the most vile smell. It smells like dead rats. Have you ever smelt dead rats? Oh, it's disgusting. Awful. Good morning, Peter Hydes. Sorry he's not been about. It's your birthday day. Is it, Peter? Oh, well, we'll come to that, my friend. Don't worry. I will do the birthdays a little bit later on, okay, right at the end of the show, as always. As always, fear not, your birthday will be done, as long as it comes up on the birthday thing on the Facebook thing, okay? Colin said the police told him when he was mugged, that on the night I was mugged, there was mugging incidents in Oxford Street. It's the same people doing it, I expect, Colin. What did they get, mate? Did you have much money on you? I never carry much money when I'm out. The cards, of course, I mean, you cancel those immediately, don't you? Mark says it can be dodgy around Park Lane. Can it really? Oh, I've got to blow my nose now. You don't hear old Simon, what's his name? He's on holiday at the moment, isn't he? Simon on BBC News, the one who does the afternoon one. Who's the girl with the blonde hair? She's quite good, isn't she? And I like Carol Kirkwood, who does the weather in the morning. She was outside Windsor this morning doing all that business there. Good. The police told him that. So we went for this walk, and we're going at the speed of light. And then my sister wants to go for a wee, doesn't she? She said the toilets are just down there. And where's some? We'll just go in the bushes. Oh, no, I can't do that. Well, I have. Several times. Standing and sitting. If you got to go, you got to go. And that's all there is to it. And let me tell you, we're surrounded by bushes and trees and forests around here. There's loads of places to go. Oh, no, I'll hold it. So walking even quicker now to this toilet, this public toilet. We've got a public toilet in Woodhall Spa, which is where we went. Oh, and they didn't nick that gold chain of yours, which it's not gold, is it really? They nicked all his bling. Colin wears a load of bling when he's out doing his disco dance, and I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Never mind. Get some more. Get even better stuff. But be careful where you're walking next time, my friend, all right? Or try and walk with people. And to be honest, even walking with 2 people isn't enough, is it? Through some of these areas of London, you've got a crowd of about 10 of you to be safe. Yeah, and you go on the inside of them. Make them walk around the outside of you, mate, all right? So that was that. Then we went into Budgeons after that because my niece had offered to cook me dinner. All right? So we got a few bits. I got, what did I buy in there? I can't remember what I had now. Linda McCartney sausages. I've got some lovely Linda McCartney. Oh, they're delicious, they are. Absolutely delicious. So I've got some Linda McCartney sausages, £2 they were, and some other bits and pieces for myself. And then I said to my niece, well, you go home and I'll drop my sister home. So I dropped Sharon at her house, in the thinking in my head that by the time I get to my niece's, my dinner will be half done. So I dropped my sister off, got round to my nieces, where's Tracy? Oh, she's upstairs putting baby James to bed. Oh, okay, I thought. We should probably put the dinner in. I looked in the oven, no dinner. Hasn't been bloody started. Well, I wouldn't have dropped my sister home had I known I was going to have to cook my own dinner. And I thought, shall I wait for her to do it? And I thought, I feel quite peckish now, to be honest. So I did my own dinner in there, put the sausages in. They got a brand new oven. 500 quid for an oven. It's got this, and it's a flat panel. The only thing is, that, of course, she can't work it properly yet. It takes a while to learn a new gadget. And gadgets are so complicated now. They used to have a little on-off button. And I mean, what do you need on an oven? Perhaps an on-off button, a thing what to change the temperature with, and that's it. What else do you need? No, this has got timers and bells, and it goes bing, bong, bow, and all that business going off on it all the time. So, but we got it going. I got my chips in the oven, made my Slimmers World chips, put the sausages in there, and a tin of baked beans as well. And I did that myself. And I sat there eating that. And then baby James, after a while, she came back downstairs with baby James. She said, I'm giving up tonight. She said, I cannot get him to sleep. And he was quite happy. He was in the living room. And he was sitting on her lap, and I was having my dinner. And then he came over and started begging for food, like a little cat or a dog. He just stands there and looks at the food and then looks at you like that. And then he said, is he begging? Come over here, James. He was begging for food, bless him. So I finished my dinner and we're watching the telly. An excellent programme if you ever want to watch telly with children. Armed Police, it was called. Armed Police. And then something magical happened. Something magical happened. If you have children, you'll know exactly where I'm coming from here. I was sitting there, and for the first time ever, baby James got down off his mum, walked across the room, came over and tried to climb on my lap. And that was a very, very magical moment, because that's the first time he's done that. How wonderful was that? All of his own accord, he just jumped off his mum, walked across, climbed up onto my knee and wanted to sit on my lap and be cuddled. And that was a very, very magical moment, that was. It didn't stay very long, a minute or so. Just sitting there watching the telly, and the finger cut, and it wants to touch your lip. His finger comes and he wants to touch your lip all the time. Bless his heart. So that was really nice. That was really nice. Then we watched this thing on the telly for a while. And it was time to go, and unfortunately, baby James had hidden my car keys. Aren't they funny? They hide car keys, they eat remote controls. They're constantly leaking everywhere, but we love them. And it was a nice evening. I come back here, and I think I went straight to bed. As I say, my stomach was giving me problems down here. I had a cup of tea first. I did have a cup of tea when I got in, and then I went to bed straight after that. I had some extra powder stuff last night in the hope that everything would start moving again. And I think it is actually. It's not less. It's certainly not hurting as much here as it was yesterday. Good, Colin. Well done, baby James. Yeah, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. He's not 17. Hello to Mamadou. Welcome, Mamadou. And I'm glad you've had all your stuff all replaced, really. Thank you, John. Yes, I mean, I do have a son, but it didn't quite work out with me and him, unfortunately. But that's just the way it is. Can't have everything in life, my friend. You can't have everything in life. All righty, now what's the time? 10:10. Yeah, I better finish off here, boys and girls, because I think my sister's coming round with baby James this morning, actually, for a cup of tea and a little bit of a chat. So we'll do today's birthdays, and then I'll tell you about the karaoke tonight. And today's birthday for someone I worked with for about 3 or 4 years in 2 venues, Belushi's in Hammersmith and Belushi's in London Bridge, a young lady called Victoria Pearson. And me and her got out, we got on like a house on fire. Such an absolute laugh and a giggle to work with Victoria Pearson. Happy birthday to you, Vicky, and I hope to meet up with you at some point, all right? Happy birthday to Victoria Pearson. Wonderful lady. Happy birthday today to Lisa Cahill. Happy birthday to you. Tezza McFeather today is 32 years old. John McKenzie, good morning, John, who's been raising money for prostate cancer. £145 out of 150 he's raised so far, so you'll get there later. Happy birthday to John McKenzie, 70 years old today, sir. Lee Wallace, good morning, Lee. Happy birthday to you. Paul Kemp's birthday today. Dean Bradford Gooch, where have you disappeared to? I haven't heard from you for ages. 42 years old today, and it's also Phil Lawrence's birthday today, someone I worked with a couple of times on the scene in London. So happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your birthdays, boys and girls. Tonight it's karaoke at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. If you're in the North London area, it's Friday night karaoke tonight, Central Station Bar, Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Starts at 8:30 and goes right the way through until midnight. Be nice to see you down there. Tomorrow, I'll hopefully be with you at some point tomorrow morning, I hope. I must start getting ready for my holiday, though, and getting my case together. I won't be taking an awful lot of stuff because I'm hoping to buy some clothes and stuff out there as well. Funnily enough, my nephew rung up my niece last night while I was over there, and he said, I've got a bit of a problem. Have you got a case? He hasn't got a suitcase. He's got nothing ready. I said to my nephew, because on Monday he'd be coming down to Central Station later, around about 10 o'clock. So he's coming down by train on Monday, right? We're going on holiday on Tuesday. He's coming down by train on Monday. And I said to him, why don't you give me your case of stuff, your passport and your money? I'll take it home with me, right? And then on Monday, all you've got to do is get on the train and come, and that's it. You haven't got anything to carry or anything like that. It's not, well, I've had to get a spare case from my nieces, so presumably he's going to turn up here or give my sister his clothes and all his other bits and pieces, and that's what's coming round here this morning, I think. Yeah, but we'll have a laugh. Any more messages this morning for me? Nice and quickly, let's have a quick look. Hello to Stafford Blake. Hello, Stafford. We're about to go, I'm afraid. You're very late this morning, Blakey. Very, very late. Very late. And John says goodbye. Thank you, John. Thank you for those kind words there. That'll do then. Thanks ever so much, gang. Have a lovely Friday. It's very, very windy out there. Really windy. And rain. The summer is over. But don't worry. It'll be summer next week in Las Vegas for me. Ha ha! Cheerio.